What's going on, people? Good morning. Welcome to the Transfer View. Welcome to United View. How are you doing? There is a lot to talk about this morning. It feels like Monday here in the UK because it was bank holiday Monday yesterday. So,
yeah,
it kind of just puts you a day back, which is good because you kind of get to the weekend again, a little bit quicker. But that may not mean anything to you guys if you don't live in the UK. But big up to everyone. I think it's fair to say we've got an awful lot to discuss. There's a lot of you in here waiting already. The return of Owen, says Daniel Luciano. Big up the gang. He's back. Sky Sports Owen. And I tell you what, I do have to say.
Go on.
He was brilliant on Sky. He was brilliant. He was repping the team. Minna did it last week, I believe, as well.
Do you know what was crazy? I was live here doing, I think, a solo one. And then I always have the TV. If you're on, I always have the TV there. Comfort. You know what I mean? You got it, so I know you're there. And then Flex was there. And then Minna was there. I'm in a UV sort of time warp. Rocky Horror Picture Show settings. I couldn't believe it. I went, we're everywhere. We're absolutely everywhere. Team UV.
Guys, does it not show, though, that literally, like you said there, Owen, Team UV, like within the camp, guys are going out, girls as well, going out, spreading their wings. They're growing. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. It's a team, and we all help each other. We all push each other, and opportunities will come. And that goes for everybody inside the UV as well. It is it's really humbling. Someone said, "Fleck, proud father." I got my tea ready, put my big TV on. I got one big team TV. Of people in there that's like, yeah.
Look at you.
Didn't want to just look at it. No, didn't want to just look at it on the laptop. Not going on the YouTube feed. I'm going to the TV downstairs in the living room. Owen deserves that. And I'm like, there's one team of people that I know there. That's the Sky transfer team. Yeah, great. And I'm like, look at Owen. Go on, Owen. Yes, say that, Owen. Go on, Owen. So no, that was very good. So I'm big up to everyone in the chat as well who saw it, because it's good that people seeing us across platforms. However,
yes,
that was you've got your flowers now, Owen. It's time to get into this shit. Yeah, because we are scrambling around just like we thought would happen. It happened last year as well. And in typical Man United style, we're being linked to every player under the sun. And we're going to be talking about Hojbjerg, Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, going to Manchester United potentially. Amrabat talks, Maguire staying, left-back search, and Spinazzola inquiry. But straight off the bat, Owen, you kind of just touched on this on Sky. But now you can say what you really think. Hojbjerg.
Well, this comes from Jason Burt from The Telegraph, who yesterday broke the news that Manchester United are considering a surprise move. Surprise is an understatement for Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. Now, United have been offered the chance to open talks over Hojbjerg, who Tottenham are willing to sell before Friday's transfer deadline. Of course, Erik ten Hag knows the player because he worked with him at Bayern Munich under 19s back in 2013. In fact, he also tried to sign Hojbjerg to Ajax before he moved to Spurs when he was actually a Southampton player. Flex, can I be honest with you at this point?
Absolutely. Yeah? This is what the show is. We have to be honest.
I'm getting really worried and concerned about the Ten Hag, he knows the player thing. At this point, it's either got to be like a media thing, like an inside joke, or is it actually cause for concern, guys? Because it's every player. It's every player that we're linked to. Ten Hag has some kind of link to them. Look at the players we've signed. Lisandro Martinez knows him. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing every time. If you work with him in the past, they come available, you go, I know him, implement my style, my philosophy. And he did that last season. No problem with it, yeah? Martinez, Anthony, Onana. But then this is when you start getting into territory of other people we're linked to that he just knows sort of kind of on the periphery a little bit. Terrell Malacia plays against him. Write his name down, mate. Write his name down. We're going
Dutch as well.
Dutch. Andre Onana, of course, managed him in the past. Mason Mount, he played on loan for a year in the Netherlands, and I kept my eye on him ever since. I want him. Get him. It's not always the case. Casemiro, Højlund, a little bit different. But if you look at the players we've been linked to over the last few days, Hojbjerg, Gravenberch, Amrabat, they've all worked with Erik ten Hag. Left backs, we're going to get to it a bit later on. Tagliafico, yeah? Yeah.
Even the Cucurella one.
Cucurella one, they were saying in the media yesterday, Getafe played Ajax back in 2019, 2020, and he was really impressed by Cucurella. And I just thought, does this never end? Like, if I was in the scouting department, I'd say, why am I in a job at this point, realistically? Because it's who Eric knows. I mean, and then the Hojbjerg one, I saw this yesterday, and I said this on Twitter. I'll put a poll in the chat in just a second, Fleck, because, in my opinion, Fred is better than Hojbjerg. Come at me.
Of course he is. A lot of people won't agree with that, probably. I don't know. Let's see what the chat thinks. But come on, man. You don't let go of Fred and go and get Hojbjerg. Come on, Hojbjerg can't lace Fred's boots. I'll say that. But I'll go one further. Like, not even in the same conversation. And Fred's a player that we've said we want to move away from and stuff, and all of a sudden Fred's gone, and we're like, who's going to do that? But come on, man, like Hojbjerg, is that what we're doing as a club? Hojbjerg. Even Ange Postecoglou's gone in and gone, nah, mate, not for me, mate.
Have you seen the clip? I sent you yesterday, didn't I? There's
a
clip.
Yeah. And I saw that when that happened.
When it happened, yeah, of Ange Postecoglou watching Hojbjerg play in pre-season as a six. And the moment in question is Hojbjerg, they're playing up from the back and Hojbjerg just hoofs it. He puts his foot through it. And Ange Postecoglou blows a shit fit, basically. He rubs his face, proper Australian accent. I can't do it, but he goes, fuck no. And then he starts going, play, basically as if to say, play out from the back, play with the ball. And like you, I just go, the obvious option's there. It's been there all summer. It's Sofian Amrabat. He wants to move. We've just sold Dean Henderson for £20 million. Like, my frustration will be, one, that we got Hojbjerg, but two will be we got Hojbjerg instead of getting Amrabat, because clearly that's the one. And you can say, yeah. Go on. You can say what? Go on.
Well,
no, I was going to say, the point being is there's been a guy there all summer that's wanted the move. And yes, there can be reports that, well, it's largely been media driven or it's largely been driven by Italy. It doesn't matter. Like, the player wants the move. And everyone knows his quality. He was going to go to Barcelona last January if Barca had any money. He's good. I just did the thing on Sky where they were saying, actually, it's his technical ability that maybe actually gets him ahead of Hojbjerg. So don't start coming in saying, well, Hojbjerg, yeah, but passing is better. Passing's better than Fred. Well, even if you do believe that, Amrabat's passing is better than Hojbjerg. Like Amrabat's the better player involved in this.
Listen, here's my thing on it, because again, you can do stats and look at 0.4 of a whole number means he's over him than this. And eye test. This is where I do get a bit old school. Forgive me. Yeah, I know XG and progressive passes and passes per 90. You can get involved in it, and they you can look at them to a certain extent. You can, but there was always a point for me personally, and it depends how you look at your footballers. Depends what you look for in the game. It depends what you like in a player. So it is all different. I'm just talking on my opinion. Yeah, I'm more of an eye test over a sustained period of time, and because these are players that we know quite well from being in the league, Hojbjerg. I'm telling you now, Hojbjerg, right, if we get him, for me, will just be the same just running around passion thing. Can't play, doesn't help us keep control, doesn't get you assists, not great technically, warrior, good engine. So then that's Scott McTominay with less height. That's Fred, who's worse on the ball. Like, come on, man. Passionberg. Like, I don't like ridiculing like pros. I'm not that guy to say, oh, this guy's dead. That's not really my style, yeah. But I have to be honest. Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. Yeah, come on, guys. Don't let, right? Please don't let like the desperate situation that we're in convince you that some of the players we've been linked with are like really good. He's not. He's worse than Fred. He's worse than McTominay. I'd rather keep McTominay. I swear to you. If it's between Hojbjerg or saying to McTominay, I'm saying McTominay, you can't leave. I'd rather have McTominay. And McTominay ain't played good in ages. I'm not saying that McTominay's like, do you know what I mean? But I'm saying that's how like lowly I rate Hojbjerg. Just runs around. That's it. We've been moaning about that for ages.
And also,
just kept Fred.
Let's think of the circumstances as to why Hojbjerg is likely leaving. Spurs this summer is because Ange Postecoglou's come in, looked at him, he's removed him from the leadership team as well, there too, and just gone, no, I don't like him, don't fancy him. I believe has he got 2 years left on his contract, I think. So it's just kind of a case of Ange coming and going, no, I don't like him. I don't think he's good enough. And United go, we'll snap him up. And I think this is right. And I think it's important to say, look, if we got him in, right, you'd be glad in the sense of, well, we got someone, right? If it was Hojbjerg or nothing, it's kind of like, well, you know, got to get someone, I suppose. But don't let that cloud your judgment at the same time. Don't just settle for, you know, nothing. Because there are options here. It's not as if the only option is Hojbjerg. There are other options. We know what the option is in Sofian Amrabat. Even with Ryan Gravenberch on a loan, I'd rather that than getting Hojbjerg for a longer-term contract. Because if he comes in, he's 28. So what's he getting in terms of a contract? What? Minimum 3 years, maybe? Yeah. You would think?
Yeah. Mate, in 6 months, we'll be saying we need more midfielders, we need this, we need that. There's a lot of people who disagree with this, by the way. Even the polls, 57% saying Fred's better. Red says Flex doesn't understand football whatsoever. Hojbjerg is by far the best option on the table, without a doubt. But they never watched the full 90 of Amrabat. Yes, I have. I was in the World Cup, watched every single 90 minutes.
Stadium.
Mate, I was in the stadium with my own eyes, breathing the same air as Amrabat, looking at him for 90 minutes from game 1 of the World Cup to game whatever they played in, all the way to the end. And I've seen him for Fiorentina in Europe, 90 minutes, because I'm starting to
I was going to say, I can agree with you because I've watched the same games, because the Morocco ones, there's footage of me watching them here on the channel. I did them. I covered those games too.
So I have seen him for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And with my eye test, and I've seen Hojbjerg for loads of 90 minutes, and I know he's rubbish. I've seen him for loads of 90 minutes. When watching Tottenham, loads, because we all watch the Premier League, most of us here, or we pretty much do. Not everyone watches other teams but Man United. But I've seen him. Some people say, but that's the World Cup. Well, yeah, I get that, because you could say, well, you know, some people have a good World Cup and then they're rubbish. But even when you just look at the attributes that he has, and then I'm looking at a bigger sample size in Hojbjerg, me personally, I've made my mind up.
And a lot of people sample off the World Cup.
That's
look
it.
At Enzo Fernandez. Look at Bono. He's just recent. People we were craving for him because of how well he was playing. You know,
exactly.
Players
and look, if he ends up at Man United, then he's our player. I'll have to support him, and then I'll hopefully be proved wrong that I don't rate him. Hopefully, I will. Hopefully, I really do. But come on, man. I honestly, and I know you can't look into this all the time, but someone just said it there. I saw a lot of Spurs fans online. Ones that I know, a lot of good content creators who obviously are Spurs through and through. Can't wait to get rid of them.
Fuad was rejoicing.
Fuad, don't you? This is to you, Fuad. Yeah, don't you? Man, put up a picture of Hojbjerg, then cleaning the glasses and put up Roy Keane. Then he's like, some suckers just pulled up. Let's fleece them. Fuad, get the hell out of here. We ain't falling. I ain't falling for that. My manager might. Man United might fall for it. I don't know. But I am not on that, bro. You need to get the hell out of here trying to come with these salesman tactics to get rid of your deadwood. No.
Yeah, I've got a couple of Fuad's posts in front of me, actually. I'll read them out. He says, I need all you Spurs comp makers to get to work and churn out those Hojbjerg reels, please. We could be in for a big payday. Some suckers just pulled up. He also then says, Hojbjerg has also always been one of the best sixes in the league, but he's more than just what he's shown for Denmark. He can be an 8, a box-to-box midfielder in a pivot, which is exactly what Casemiro needs. And when his legs eventually knacker, you've already got a proven Premier League player ready to slot in. Prayer thing at Man United. He knows what he's doing. And that's someone that watches Spurs every single week. That's someone who has lived through Spurs under Jose, Nuno, and Conte as well. He's got strong opinions on all of it, yeah? So Fuad knows. Fuad knows what's going on as well. And also, when he says about the comps, he also says here, as many forward passes as possible, please. You can even cut
Fuad, you're live on United View. Fuad. Listen to me now, yeah? I'm not falling for your slander, right? But you're live on United View in our morning show. We're discussing Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, yeah? I need you to give me the lowdown on this player from a Spurs fan's perspective, please.
Right. right. In terms of, is he one of the best number 6s in the league? Absolutely. Is he someone who can play in both the 6 and the 8 role? Absolutely, as shown at the Euros, as shown at the World Cup for Denmark. Personally, I think Spurs have kind of moved the need for him, essentially. I think when he came in, we were really lacking a number 6, but you look at our squad now, we've got Pape Sarr, Basuma, Bentancur, who's out injured, Skip, who's come through the academy, who all, in my opinion, seem to have kind of higher ceilings than he has. The issue he has is he's actually someone who is of quality and can still provide something right now. United, I think he goes there and he'll probably be a squad player. He'll probably be backup for Casemiro. He'll probably, in certain games where you need to set up defensively, you'll play in a double pivot. But outside of that, I said earlier in the window, I don't know why United aren't actually considering Hojbjerg. I think the only issue is the fact that United fans are looking at it like, oh, he's not starting regularly for Spurs, so why would he? It's only these first 3 games that Hojbjerg hasn't actually started. The past 3 years, he was arguably one of the most undroppable players. He's probably played the most.
Mate, Eric Dyer was undroppable for you. He started loads of games. Don't try this.
You got me.
Emerson Morale was starting loads of games. Yeah. In the comments, they're saying Fuad the salesman.
Say, add in an R and then rearrange the words. It spells fraud, not Fuad. That's what it spells.
They're saying add in the R. It spells fraud, not Fuad. Fuad.
Listen, honestly speaking, I think for United, he would be one of those players that I think is an understated signing. The only problem is after all the targets you've been after, it's a little bit underwhelming now. So that's the issue he's going to have.
Fuad, is Hojbjerg good? Is Hojbjerg good? Is Hojbjerg good?
Hojbjerg is good, bro. But he is not exceptional. And I think you guys are looking for exceptional.
Fuad, is Fred better than Fred better than Hojbjerg?
No. That I will not have.
Oh, Fuad, come on, man.
Listen, I will not have this. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of you Fred stands in the United fan base here. If you guys like Fred, you will love Hojbjerg. Oh, you will love Hojbjerg.
So they're kind of the same.
Bro, cut from the same cloth. The only thing I would say is defensively, Hojbjerg offers you more.
Defensively?
Yes.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I can't
believe
this. You really want this player to go in it? Don't try.
I don't mind keeping him as a backup squad option. I just think that for Spurs, it's a benefit because we can actually cash in on someone. We don't have many players who are actually
Spurs.
Resale value, if you like.
Spurs. That's what I'm saying. Owen's like Spurs. We're going down to the Spurs level. The
Spurs backup.
The club that you lot Spurs backup. The Spurs backup. You lot are trying to say, yeah, he's good. This is what's happening. You lot are falling for this, you know. You lot are falling for this.
You're falling for the PR, bro. Don't fall for the PR. Look at it beyond the kind of name brand level.
Yeah, he's rubbish.
The name Spurs from it. He's not, bro.
You lot rate Skip. You lot rate all these guys.
Skip, listen, you know how it is, man. When it's one of your own out of the academy, you got excess flavor to that. You know what I'm saying? You got to cook up the stew a little. But we know there's a ranking order, and yeah.
All right.
For me, I think he can actually be a quality Premier League player.
How much you trying to get for him then? Talk to me. What's going on?
Realistically, if I'm honest, 25 to 35 million, I think is a fair deal.
25 to 35
when I see the defensive
million.
midfielder market this summer, flex. I have to empty out the bank, you know.
So why on Twitter was you saying get the Spurs comp makers out? Let's fleece these, man. Why are you saying that then?
No. That wasn't to say fleece these, man. That was me just saying, look, let's put our best foot forward in showing the best of Hojbjerg out there, because we actually almost everybody who's tried to put up for sale this year, they haven't been able to go. No one's left.
Why is that? Is that because they're rubbish players?
No, because we are just awful sellers. And then, yes, there are some that are really bad that don't have any resale value. Hojbjerg is not one of those, though. That's why I was saying, hey, guys, let's get the good PR out there so the people can see the truth. Do you know what I mean? And you took it as, I'm trying to hoodwink and bamboozle people.
Bro, you put Roy Keane in a picture next to Hojbjerg.
Oh, yeah, okay. Hey, you gotta understand the vision and see where I'm coming from, though. Two leaders, 2 treble winners, captains for their country.
I can't stand you. I hate you. Is Amrabat better than Hojbjerg?
Okay, no. Now I'm not going to go too far. Amrabat should be the absolute number one option. But if Amrabat doesn't come, Hojbjerg, I think, is actually a brilliant alternative.
Red saying Flex awkwardly laughing because he's been exposed. Hojbjerg is a good player. No, I'm awkwardly laughing because Fua's trying to sell me a dud, mate. And I ain't buying it.
I'm not, mate. I'm not. Believe it. You'll believe it when you see it. I'm telling you.
I hope I don't see it. I hope I don't see it. Let him go somewhere else.
Your badge, I promise you'll be talking about, that Hojbjerg performance, though. I was impressed.
Yeah, against Tottenham when he's up for it. Might run around a little bit and that's it. Get out of here, man. Oh. All right, laters, bro.
Bless.
Flipping Pierre. And you lot in the comments telling me, see, he's good. I don't care. I've done my... I'm not having Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. I ain't having it. Dead food.
Flex.
Food.
He said he could be a useful backup at Spurs. Useful backup. We're signing him to go into the team.
That's what I'm saying. We're saying that Casemiro needs a partner, not just someone to facilitate, to come in when he's not there. We're saying that the midfield needs more bite and that. And okay, Hojbjerg can run around.
Even Fuad goes, Amrabat's better. Let's not be crazy here.
Yeah, and that's the player that we've wanted the whole time for like 25 million. And now Fiorentina was saying they're even willing to listen to offers lower than that now because it's got a bit untenable. It can't come back.
And just before you go to Super Chats, very quickly, Darmesh is saying this morning that Manchester United are understood to have made, quote, initial contacts over Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him. And then what's going to happen? This is what I think is going to happen, yeah? We're going to get him. So then everyone will say, hold that Flex. What do you know? Then he's probably going to run around and have some good performance. And then people are just going to try and cook me. And look, if he comes, what I will say is this. And I promise you guys this now. You guys know me long enough in this space to know the type of person that I am versus what I'm not. I won't just have the agenda to be proved right that he's rubbish. If he comes, I hope he's what Fuad says. I hope he's what a lot of you guys are saying, that he's really good and we should get him and he's a great option. So fair enough. If he comes, I hope I'm wrong on everything I say. And I hope that Owen can replay the 29th of August at 9:45 a.m. where I said that he's rubbish. And then all of a sudden we're beating Man City with Hojbjerg in there. He's brilliant. He's running around, winning the ball back. And I go, bloody hell, how wrong was I on Hojbjerg? I hope that happens. I really, really do. But a lot of you guys say I always sit on the fence. I just thought I'd tell you what I really think about us being linked to Hojbjerg. That's just how I feel. I feel he's no better than Fred. And I feel if you're going to get me Hojbjerg, then just keep McTominay. He can run around, be physical, and win headers and kick people and do that job. But hey, that's just my opinion. That's almost been the whole show.
We started at 9:20.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. That's just how I feel. To the poll, 57% said Fred is better. 43% don't agree. But this is interesting though, Owen, isn't it? Because it is all about opinions. This is what this is
what it's all about.
It is fascinating. Yeah. It is fascinating to see this. But
yeah,
there you go. Let's move it on to someone that I do want, and I think you guys want instead of Hojbjerg, or is Hojbjerg super chats?
Yes, yeah.
I'm wound up.
You're rattled, Flex.
Honestly, I'm rattled because mate, honestly. Ari says, I'd take Hojbjerg. He was decent at Spurs. Dan is the latest member of the UV members crew. Big up to you, Dan. Pav says, the Hojbjerg move stinks of a loan because they know they ain't raising no money and Donny ain't going. The board and manager are culpable this summer. Ronald says, don't think it's a concern at the moment, but could be in a year or two. Show says, still no football structure around Erik ten Hag to help him. Yet we are surprised by poor recruitment. When managers are completely in charge, it doesn't work. Interesting point now. Harold says, Hojbjerg news coming from agents and now Darmish. It's a bit of Erik ten Hag knows him, easy link. Does not make sense over Amrabat. Agreed, over Amrabat. David G says, Hannibal and Alvaro are definitely looking to leave permanently end of the season. Seeing us go for these stopgap players and not getting a chance. Yeah. And Aditya says, hi, Flex and Owen. United need a good director of football. We can't keep buying players just purely based on a manager's choice. The structure of United is all wrong. I do agree with that. Because as much as we wanted Ten Hag to be in control, we're saying back him. It's typical United where it's gone, it's all in or all out. So now it's like, we're just going to just listen to the manager on everything. There isn't somebody above who says, well, this is the types of players that we want to get. Your preferences need to fit in with this because this is our ethos. This is how we want things to look in the next 10, 15, 20 years. It doesn't happen at Man United. We don't have that structure. So there you go. On to the next, Owen, on to Amrabat.
So Amrabat, yes, the latest when it comes to him is that not really a lot's going on. An offer is yet to be made. His representatives have grown frustrated at the lack of progress, and reportedly they are considering their options. So again, it does feel like certainly there is, I don't know, Flex. It feels like there's more going on these other names than Amrabat, and this has been the worry, hasn't it? The last few weeks is that it's gone quiet. Like it's gone quite quiet regarding Amrabat, and because of that, like you said, I am leaning more towards like, I tell you what, I don't know if we're going to get him now. I mean, I know that seems quite negative because I mean, literally, I've just been on the TV saying that that's the one that I want. But yeah,
I don't think we're going to get Amrabat. I think it's just been far too long with it being too coy, to be honest. And I think now that we're getting to this end of the window, I think Man United would do the safer bet. They would do the one of the player who's in the league now. He's just down in London. Get him up the M1, M6, whatever. Knows the league. I could just see that. I can see that being a Man United-ism. I can see it.
My worry is that we may have never realistically been in for Amrabat that much, and that it was driven from sort of really hard from the Italy side of things, from the Amrabat side of things, and then we don't end up getting him. We don't end up getting him, and we get angry that we were never going to. Why didn't we get him? And then like, well, we were never really in for him. That was all from the agent, because that's happened a few times. But the point being is, sometimes the players and the agents do this kind of stuff to be like, dancing, waving, saying, look, I'm available. I want the move. We want the move. Pay attention to us. Come for us. Come for us. And then they go, no, we're going to go Hojbjerg instead. And you go, come on.
Yeah, it is a big Man United move to do that. And look, I do think it's important. Now I'm calming down a little bit. We do have to look at the other side, though. We do, because we can't just have a show. The more I think about it, we can't just have a show of me and you basically just only saying, Hojbjerg's crap and like what good can come out of him coming? Well, at this stage, I think, like you said a bit earlier, at this stage of the window now, 3 days left, we are basically saying that, well, we've let Fred go and McTominay seems surplus. He doesn't really want to use him. We have to get somebody now. We do. We have to get a defensive midfielder, someone who can play at the base, someone who's got physicality, someone who can get about the pitch. The same way with the left back situation, which I know we'll get to in a bit, but he's going to let Alvaro Fernandez go. He doesn't think he's ready. He doesn't. Otherwise, he would have been in the squad and there will be no panic about all these links to all these left backs. So out of all of them left backs that we're linked to, we're going to have to get one. And as fans, I do have to get my head around that to say, well, you've got to choose someone out of this. And I think if it was going to be Hojbjerg, the pluses, even I don't rate him, the pluses are, he does know the league. He knows the intensity. I'm not saying that Amrabat doesn't, because he's all about being intensity.
Isn't it?
But that's what we have to do. We have to do it, though, Owen. We will have to do it because we can't just do the negative. Because
no, we can't get no one.
It looked like, one, we can't get no one. And two, obviously you don't know which way this is going to go, but it feels a bit Hojbjergish now. It does.
Well, the fact that, like, again, and I know Romano has said all window, like, oh no, he's Amrabat's United's priority.
He's waiting for it. He's waiting for
and he's waiting for it. And then you had the other guy based in Italy, I forget his name, Padula, going, he's waiting. They're waiting. And by all accounts, Amrabat is waiting. The Fiorentina manager said it himself, like, he's not training with us anymore. Like he's waiting for that bid. Literally, by all accounts. But United then, in fairness, if they're going to go for him or they're not going to go for him, because they've got the money now, we know likelihood is they're getting a left back, they're getting a midfielder. They won't go to the end of the window and that not happen, because that would be, I think, catastrophic for United this season. So they're going to do business. If they don't have the intention of going for Amrabat and this guy is training on his own in Italy, waiting for an offer to come in, they have almost like a duty to Amrabat to say, by the way, mate, it's not happening. Or their agents, his agent has a right to be like, United, is anything going to happen? No, we're going for Hojbjerg. Right, I'll go elsewhere then. Because otherwise he's going to be sticking around at Fiorentina. And that's what he doesn't want. So I don't get it, Flex.
It's typical of us, isn't it? We're just never ready. Like, why don't we just go and get the guy?
Because maybe Flex, because maybe this is the point, and this is when you add logic to an illogical situation. Is that you say, why don't we go get the guy? It's like Samuel Lucker said the other day, and he was right by this. If we really wanted Sofian Amrabat, he'd be here.
We could get him. It would be,
and when they're not, when they're not, you then have to start to question, why isn't he here? And the most likely explanation is because actually maybe we're not even that in for him. You know, maybe it was just very much peripheral.
All right. I think you're right. I know some people are reluctant to believe the domestic journos because, you know, sometimes they write things that we don't like, and some of them got some reputations that we're not particularly fond of. I understand all of that. So there's a big reluctance there with a lot of the domestic journalists. I get that. They're close to the club. They get briefed by the club. So we're always a bit skeptical, aren't we? We're always a little bit cautious. And then when we hear things from foreign media that are at the heart of situations that we want to hear, i.e. Italian media being part of this Amrabat situation where the whole window they've been saying, yes, 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 prime target, Man United. We want to believe that. But I do kind of see it there. So why have we not signed him yet then? Why is it going into the last 3 days and we haven't brought him in? He's been there the whole time. He's probably the most easily attainable midfielder in Europe. He's not even training with his team.
Dennis says in the chat there, United did the same with Gakpo almost in the winter. You know what I mean? When it was like, we're definitely getting him. Of course we're going to get him. And then we don't get him. And it comes out like, actually, we kind of knew we could always not really afford him. So, but then you go, so where were all the links from? Like, what?
Even when Fred left, you've got Henderson is officially left now. Well, not officially, but he's completed his medical, so he's going to go. He's gone. 15 million plus the add-ons. So you got 15 there. Didn't we get 15 for Fred?
15 for Fred, I believe, yes. And then, like I said, Henderson total package of 20, 15 plus 5, you know. We sold Kovar for 7 as well.
And George Gill says there, Flex, have you thought maybe they just don't rate Amrabat that highly? You're right, George. You're right. Maybe. That's what we're saying. Maybe they just went, nah, if we're going to choose one, Gravenberch, swap for McTominay. Yeah, we like that. Eric Ten Hag knows him. And Hojbjerg, ready to rock, fit, you know, at it for Spurs last year, running around like a madman. He can do it. We need that now next to Casemiro, but still a bit of grit. So look, I will always, once it's happened, I will always get behind any player. I will. And then wait for a sample size like I've done with a lot of our players. I won't be that unfair. I've got a bit of an agenda now because I just don't think he's it. And I don't want us to get him. But if he comes, it changes everything. As soon as the player signs on the dotted line for him, that's our jobs, isn't it? To want him to do the best for our team. But I just, profile-wise, I just don't see it. It's the most Man United thing for me to go, well, let's move on from Fred because he ain't good enough. Let's get Hojbjerg. Let's move on from Phil Jones because he ain't been here. He's been here too long. Let's get Johnny Evans. Like, it's just like, do you know what I mean, though, Owen? Like, they're just, man, like, these are the bigger pictures where I'm like, are we really upgrading?
It's like in EastEnders when they got the same character, but they just recast the actor. You go, same character.
Like, I know like it's 56% say Fred's better and stuff, but even if they're par, it's not good enough. Like, when are we going to wake up and smell the coffee and be like, hang on a minute. Well, okay, cool. We all agreed that Fred wasn't it. McTominay's not it. McFred is not it. And then all of a sudden we're saying, but Hojbjerg's going to be good. He's going to be, yeah, that's good. How? Yeah, Johnny Evans got experience, man. It's not hurting us, really. I can see why. How?
And what is it again, Flex? It's stopgap FC. We've done this with strikers for like 7 years or however long it is of going. Because this is what Hojbjerg is as well. Let's make no mistake. It's we'll look at it again next summer, or we'll look at it again the next summer. Same with like the centre backs. So are we going to get them? Well, we'll look at it next summer.
If I said to you, Owen,
it's always next year.
Always. If I said to you halfway through last season, yeah, when Casemiro and Eriksen were doing their thing, right? Let's say, and I said, do you know what? I've got a plan. Yeah, next year, I'll tell you what I'm going to give you. I'm going to let Fred go, but I'm going to bring in Hojbjerg from Spurs halfway through last season. Everyone's going to say, you smoking crack.
That's fucking reckless!
Because of the situation that we're in, like you said, we're going, Well, where we are, it's probably
You need someone.
You know, that's all it is. That because it's not an upgrade. If you put Fred and Hojbjerg there like that, even if you like I'm saying, I'm putting a bit of respect on Hojbjerg for the balance of the argument. I don't agree with it, but let's just do that. Then just say they're the same. Then what do they both do? Run around, win the ball back. Fred, we say, oh, but on the passing, he's not good and a bit of a donkey. Never know if Fred gives it away, then he has to run after it. Is Hojbjerg amazing on the ball? Have I missed something here? Have I? Is he way stronger than Fred? Is he athletically stacked more than Fred in the air? Does he get about the pitch better than Fred or the same as Fred? Does he dispossess people like Fred does? Maybe, yeah. Like, what does he do that Fred doesn't do? That's what I'm asking. What does he do that Fred doesn't do? What?
Can't answer that
what does he do that McTominay doesn't do? McTominay would get you more goals, really, if you play him a bit higher up the pitch.
Flex, Ten Hag likes him.
I hate to be this like this. I don't like being like this. I try not to be like this, but when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Man United are telling me that you're going to sell Fred because you don't think he's good enough and we need to go in a different direction. And we end up with Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg.
Well, also, we sold sort of our backup midfielder in Fred and replaced him with Spurs' backup midfielder.
Honestly, and this is where I do agree with some people where they say, not the problem with the fan base, but we as fans, because it's to do with the club feed this down from the Glazers and from the situation that we're in, and then we as fans start thinking things that are just like outside of this fan base, no one would accept that.
No, this is the thing. I sent this. A mate of mine's a Chelsea fan. Look at the way they operate. Yeah, I sent him that yesterday. He just sent a laughing emoji back because they all know. Everyone knows. And like you said, we get to the point where we're getting now where we go, look, well, we need someone. You know, we got to get someone, haven't we? You know,
Fred give Hojbjerg and the man there at Old Trafford the run around, the best player on the pitch. Hojbjerg and the man can get near us. Bentancur and all that at Old Trafford. We run rings around them. And then, ironically, without Fred the other day, we got flipping spun at Spurs. Hojbjerg weren't even playing.
We ain't playing. Because Ange doesn't like him. Because he doesn't think he's good enough.
Bro, this kid Sarr, who was out on loan last year, apparently now feel like saying he's wicked. He's wicked. Sarr. Honestly. The game's gone, mate. The game's gone.
I tell you what, Flex. Let's move on to something way more positive, okay? Harry Maguire is staying. Harry Maguire is staying at Manchester United. According to the Times, Manchester United have blocked a fresh approach for Harry Maguire.
Do you know what, though? Obviously, I did the show yesterday by myself, right? Owen, I'm being serious. This is why it's messed up. Because now, we have to tell him, you ain't going on loan. Are you crazy? What you think? I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. What you didn't want to get sold because you don't want to take the drop in wages, and now you want to be clever and say send me on loan. That way, I still get my full wages and I play every week. Are we taking? Are you taking the piss out of us? Again, it's our own fault.
I hate to do the. You all laughed at me. I mentioned it before. The loan loophole. I called it the January loophole before. I didn't think it was going to be this fast.
Didn't think it was this early,
but I think they'll try it again in January, and that is, hey, I still want to get my money that I'm owed on my contract because I've got that big contract. But also as well, I do realise I've actually got to play because European Championships coming up. I wouldn't have played in 2 years consistently at United, so I'm going to go on loan. And United are right to turn that down and say to West Ham, "Are you taking the piss?" And to Harry Maguire as well. Are you taking the piss? No. If you're going to leave, it's permanently. Let's figure this thing out. Because either way, they still got to get a replacement in. And even Eric Ten Hag will be looking at it, going, no. You're right, and you're obligated to get your money because we signed a contract. That's on us. But let's not again. Roy Hodgson settings. Let's not take the piss here. Okay. If you're going to go, you'll go. We'll figure out an exit package and we'll bring someone in. But let's face it, Harry Maguire's not leaving now because United have left it too late. There's too much to do towards the end of the window because now we have to decide a midfielder and a left back. And if Maguire goes, it's got to be a centre back. And, you know, Murto Madness is going to end.
Another Varane's injured.
Well, actually, it's going to end. Murto Madness, get ready for this, Flex, is going to end with a deadline day quadruple signing of, get ready, Cucurella, Hojbjerg, a backup goalkeeper, and Johnny Evans on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, or some form of left back, whether it's Tagliafico or whoever it is, whether it's Alonso, whoever it is, a left back of some sort. You're right, I agree with you. Hojbjerg, definitely. Obviously, Bayern we know is in already, basically, but announced in that time, And Johnny Evans 1-year deal. I agree. Especially now, it's even more important to Man United to get Johnny Evans over the line because Erik ten Hag wants to avoid using Harry Maguire at all costs, which we've already seen. And Varane's injured. He'll play Johnny Evans before he plays Maguire, it feels. Right?
And also, we don't even have Luke Shaw to put at left centre back because he's injured again. We can't even replace him as a left back, let alone centre back.
This is what I mean. Like we're in a position where the player that we wanted to leave the most
play centre back.
Yeah, well, actually, to be fair, he can play left centre back.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
I think I did say out of all of it now, I probably would go Cucurella. I probably would. I'll probably. Well, actually, the Tagliafico situation, I know Ten Hag knows him, but obviously the guys at Ajax, obviously Ajax and Sakwi were saying, weren't they? They were saying how good he is, and he'll be a perfect option. So maybe if he did come, I'd be like, it is what it is. But if it was going to be Cucurella, again, I haven't got much faith. I don't think he's a great defender, but the versatility, he can play left centre back and left back. Left wing back.
Well, we can move on to the left back choices actually, because Romano has said it there that Manchester United is still discussing internally about the best option for a new left back. Contacts yesterday took place again for Cucurella. Also, Marcos Alonso and Sergio Reguilon remain on the list. United also asked for conditions for a Tagliafico deal. He's of course well known by Ten Hag. He even said that himself. Out of those four. And I can put a poll in the chat in just a second. Which one do you think which one would you like and which one do you think United go with?
Tagliafico entering into the fray. I didn't realise he played against us in pre-season.
Well, yeah, he played in pre-season. And do you know what happened? Is because obviously there's Martinez, Anthony were there, Ten Hag. They all took pictures together.
Yeah, took a picture, It's a Jolly Boys reunion, you know what I mean? So now, and we know how this goes when he knows somebody or has worked with somebody. We know how it goes. So, and he's very experienced. So if it was him, because I know he's not going to coach his way out of this. It's not going to be Fernandes. Doesn't think he's ready. And if he's the coach and he thinks he's not ready for Premier League action yet, then I have to just go, okay, well, I find that a bit weird. I really thought he would have been. You trusted him quite a bit in pre-season. It looks like he's ready to me, but I haven't got a UEFA A license. So I get that. I understand that. So if he doesn't think he's ready, he doesn't think he's ready. Then we need to get someone, because I think the fact that we are going to get someone and we've heard nothing on Malacia, I think it must be a real bad one. Must be a real long one.
He's not played in pre-season at all.
He hasn't played in pre-season at all, and we haven't heard a sniff, unspecified in just nothing. He just Malacia's just vanished.
Yeah, he said in the press conference last week. He said a few weeks, but he said that about Martial a lot last season. Martial,
yeah, you can't trust that. You can't trust that. Yeah, so clearly, I think if Malacia was back imminently, i.e., in a couple of weeks, you would, wouldn't you? You would say, well, maybe let's just keep that Fernandes kid and just let Dalot play there for about 3 weeks. And two of them is an international break in it. So you would, or 1 week, sorry, you would just try that maybe. But I think he's worried that Malacia is not going to be back in time anytime soon. And clearly, Luke Shaw's not coming back anytime soon. So to go to an emergency loan left back means that the situation is worse than we thought. You have to say that. I have to admit that, because I thought just coach your way out of it. Have Fernandes there in the background if something happens to Dalot, and then let Dalot play left back. But clearly, something's off. All right, cool. So yeah, Tagliafico, Cucurella, to answer your question. Cucurella less so because of the money that Chelsea are going to want to subsidise his wages. Would there be an obligation to buy? I don't know. maybe Chelsea would just go, let's just get his wages off the books for a season. We can deal with that afterwards. We've got enough to deal with. We've only got one game a week with Carabao Cup and FA Cup, so we don't actually need him. But Chilwell was always injured as well, so I don't know.
This is what happens, though, isn't it? When you leave your business late anyway, I understand injuries and all that kind of stuff, but you don't have people ready in reserve. Is that when you get to the end of the window, you either one, overpay for good players, or two, you get desperate and take sort of average or bad players. And I understand with the Cucurella one that I did the thing at the weekend about it is that if this was this time last season, United were linked to Cucurella, we'd be quite excited because he was like, he had a good season at Brighton. Everyone was like, he was really, really good. And look, you never know. There's a possibility he does do that at United. My concern, like you said, is financially, how do they make that one work? Part of the reason Chelsea are keen to let him out on loan is because, by all accounts, they're like, well, we don't have European football, so we've got enough cover, we think, at left back. They got Chilwell, but they've been playing Colwell at left back as well, actually. They've been playing a bit of like a weird system, haven't they? They've actually changed from a back four to a back three. So they might sort of switch around with it anyway. And it looks like Poch isn't really that keen on Cucurella. But his contract, one, it's really long because all their contracts are. And two, it's 175k a week. There is no way Chelsea don't want minimum at least like half of it or two-thirds covered, or if not all of it. And I just cannot see United picking up a 175k a week contract for a left back. Well, for a left back that they go, well, when Malacia, when does he come back? Or Luke Shaw, when does he come back? Unless they're thinking now, double whammy kind of situation, they're thinking, well, Cucurella, we're getting a 2-for-1 situation. A bit like when we were in for Pavard. When they're looking at it going, he can play right back, he can play centre back. Maybe they're thinking, well, Cucurella could play left back and he could play centre back. That might be good. Maybe we'll go with that. Don't want Marcus Alonso at all.
No.
I was surprised when he went to Barcelona, to be honest.
I know. He does well. He's got a good agent. I don't know how he always does it. And he's a weird player because like on the ball, he's all right, but it's just overall no. Do you think there's anything that they might think more longer term where Ten Hag might go, do you know what, Malacia maybe, no, he's injured, but he might go, you know what, he wasn't really, I think if I got the chance to get Cucurella over him, and I'm not saying this, I think Cucurella is probably better than Malacia, even though Malacia was my signing relatively low, then maybe we can loan out Malacia afterwards and maybe make Cucurella permanent if it goes well. We'll see how it goes. Do you know what I was thinking about with Fuad before, and it is a bit like this with Cucurella. When those links first came out, you saw the Chelsea fans go, take him. Please. Yeah, he's awful.
And we saw him last season. And again, one bad season doesn't make a bad player. Totally get it. But I watched a few games last season, Flex. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I understand,
but last season, last season,
I get that. And
rubbish last year.
And then when you do look at it and you go, well, maybe, and the poll's been in there for 5 minutes, over 250 votes. The majority clearly is going to Cucurella, 52% out of a 4-person poll. So, I think people are saying that because maybe there is the hope that you get Brighton Cucurella and not that. But what's he like playing in a back four? Did he play a back four in Brighton or did Potter play a back three?
No, he was left centre back sometimes at Brighton, and because when he scored against us when they beat us 4-0 near the end of the season and smashed us up,
and were we linked with him before he went to Brighton?
I can't remember. Probably. Let me get these super chats out. Lil Yo-Yo says they're waiting for Donny to leave. Don't get it though. Victor says Ten Hag talent ID. Hojbjerg, seriously, we're in the mud. John James says Eric Ten Hag has a veto, not control. Our director of football is the issue. Ray Carl Brown, big up to you, bro. As a fan, I can't buy the players if the manager chooses him. That's what I remember. We got Mainu to come in. And he plays alongside Casemiro. I see where Ten Hag is coming from. As a fan, I can't buy the players if the manager chooses him. What are you saying? That Mainu could come in and play alongside Casemiro? I see where Ten Hag was coming from. What? Because this year was supposed to be Mainu's breakthrough, is what you mean?
Unless he's sort of maybe suggesting, I guess, that maybe that when Kobbie Mainu's back, it's going to be Kobbie Mainu and Casemiro anyway. And
okay.
Back up, maybe.
Okay, fair play. El Cap says Flex needs a dose of copium. United does this to us. I am feeling really agitated this morning because of this. I am. Lil Yo-Yo says, we steal Malacia from Leon and sign Tagliafico. Mud. Yeah, imagine that. Honestly. You just can't write it, can you, Owen? You just can't. What What else have we got? Oh, Spinazzola's another left back linked as well. I don't even. Do you know what? I can't remember what to talk about it, man. I'd rather just talk about the team.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Well, actually, what was the Spinazzola line? That's a bit rude.
Just Gianluca Di Marzio, Man United contacted Roma to inquire signing fullback Leonardo Spinazzola.
I think what we are getting now is the media
is everyone
off this. Yeah, but we have to be aware of that. Like, you know, the Hojbjerg one, I did retweet and said I refuse to believe this, to be fair, and clearly there's something there. So I'm gonna have to start believing that. But you know, look at all the names. Obviously, we aren't going to sign all these. And Man United at the best of times, you know, what we know is hated, adored, never ignored. Like that is Man United. So everyone will a lot of outlets. It is everybody's job now in the media to sell papers, to sell articles and stuff like that. Editors will be going, Man United are scrambling. Get on that now. Put things out there, you know, do some digging. Agents will be all over it now. Agents will be active. Agents will be drip feeding Man United's names into press here or there, even though they've got no intention of going there to help their clients get something else sorted, either a new contract to move to somewhere else or whatever. Get all over it. And this is now into the 3-day period. Well, actually, even in the since Luke Shaw got injured, we've seen it. We've seen it. Since Luke Shaw got injured, the names that have been, you know, added into the list are insane. And since Amrabat's taken ages, now the names that have been linked at central midfield are insane as well. So I just think buckle up
Here's
next 3 days.
Here's one for you. Obviously, we got Arsenal at the weekend. There's going to be, you know, we're going to be chatting to the AFTV guys a lot this week. We know that's coming. There's going to be, you know, tactical views, previews, you name it. Tactical views out, by the way, for this past weekend. Check that out. And what do you think they're going to say? Like, how are you going to defend yourself when they come at you and they say, you know, when Dom Robbie's coming at you going, whoa, what's going on at United, Flex? What's going on? Oh, I'm seeing Hojbjerg. How are you going to react to that?
I'm going to say, look at your own stuff. I'm seeing people outside the Emirates arguing about Havertz all day. You lot don't even know. You lot are question. Lee Judges says every time Arteta takes a shit, you lot want to wipe his ass. Won't call him out. Thomas Partey's not a right back. Where's Gabriel? Just a bit of discontent here as well, mate. That's what I'll say.
He's gonna go Cucurella.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Cucurella's a better fullback than Partey, mate. At me.
True.
That's what I'll say.
Flex, who's better at left back? Cucurella or Kieran Tierney, who's just gone on loan?
Kieran Tierney. But he's just left them, so they don't have him anymore. But, you know, it is what it is. Maybe Cucurella might start against them. When's the window shut? Yeah, I'm doing deadline day Friday.
Possible.
Wait there. Oh, my God. Cucurella.
Flex. Cucurella and Hojbjerg might be starting at the Emirates.
That's what I'm saying. Hear me out on this, yeah? Starting team of the Emirates. Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Martinez, Cucurella, Hojbjerg, Casemiro, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, Anthony.
So where's the code then? Where's the code?
Woo! To be fair, someone said Saka will rip Cucurella to shreds.
It won't even be a long trip. They're both in London already.
I know. I tell you what, don't do your medical here. I tell you what, meet us at the Emirates. We do the medical there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's after the deadline. I'm joking. But you know, that could happen. That could happen.
That could happen. It's probably going to happen. Flex. What do you mean could? What do you mean could? They're looking to get in the left back and the centre midfielder before they get to the Emirates of the weekend. That's what they're looking for. The deadline to register them is what, Friday? I think at midday.
Nah, he won't start them too. Well, he might start Hojbjerg because in midfield.
He might. Left back. He might do it. And midfield.
No. He just give Dallo a big deal. He wouldn't let the new guy just come in and just push him out.
Wouldn't he?
But then again, if you are going to go and get Cucurella, that means you want him to be left back. He's
left back.
Oh, what are you lot saying in the chat? Is Cucurella and Hojbjerg going to start at Arsenal? I'm putting that on Twitter.
Flex, think about it. We could have three first team debuts. We could have Cucurella, Hojbjerg, and Højlund all starting. The Man United team could look dramatically different, come Sunday.
Will Hojbjerg and
I remember when we thought, we were going to go to the Emirates without Kukurea and Hojbjerg.
He was special.
It's just, like when you said it, it just dawned on me, like, it's going to happen.
You just have to laugh at it because, it's Man United. Let's get rid of Fred. Who are you going to get? How are you going to evolve the team? By Hojbjerg, mate.
Hojbjerg.
Fred, I'll tell you what. Fred always giving the ball away. All he does is run about the pitch. Got no quality passion merchant, man. Let's get him out. Who do you want to get?
Hojbjerg. We got 3 Danish internationals in our side, possibly, the weekend.
Yeah.
Hojbjerg, maybe Eriksson, you never know. And Højlund. Flex, man.
Owen, man. Listen.
Disgusting!
Flex, who do you actually like? What do you mean? I'm a lover, not a fighter. I like loads of people. I'm not a toxic fan. I'm not this person normally. But come on, man. Man, this is what we've done, guys. Fair play. We need a new goalkeeper. Yeah? You go and get Andre Onana. Applaud. We need 2 strikers. Who are we going to get? Victor Osimhen or Harry Kane? And then we get a backup and like Evan Ferguson or, this Højlund kid who no one knows about. Oh, no, we'll just spend 64 million on Højlund. And add-ons that would take it to 72 if we're good.
Add-ons.
Oh, okay. So, that's a lot of money. Okay. We need a midfielder who can, keep the ball, drive for midfield, start attacks. £55 million Mason Mount. Okay, I'm backing him, but it didn't add up. I will be honest about that. I am a bit like...
And he's injured.
What? And he's injured. For God's sake, this club, sins of the past. Phil Jones is still here. How? Finally, he's gone. Oh, my God. I can't believe Ollie gave him a new deal that time. This is what we do. I mean, it's Ed Woodward. Thank God them guys aren't there anymore. Fair play. So let's move on from that now. We can build. We're getting rid of Telles, Eric Bailly, Brandon Williams hasn't been at it. So how do we kick on? Who's going to be the next up-and-coming centre-back? Who are you going to get? Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans. Oh,
good for the dressing room.
Good for the dressing room. He's won stuff at Man United. Cool. Midfield, we have to just sort it out. I tell you what, we want Amrabat all summer long. We want Amrabat. He's still there, training with a bib on by himself, mate. Oh, who are you going to get? Hojbjerg. Okay, cool. All right. Alvaro Fernandez looks good. Let's put him through pre-season. He's looking good. Oh, we've got a little bit of a left-back crisis. Going to bring in the kid? No, not ready yet. What are you going to do? Give Chelsea more money, help them offload? Okay, no problem. Okay. Maguire, Harry Maguire. You give him a big, massive deal so he can dig his feet in. Rejects a move to West Ham. I'm not taking a wage cut. No chance. I'm not. No. Only way after Man United is down. Move rejected. Whilst I respect David Moyes, move rejected. Happy to fight for my place. 3 games in. 1 game not in the squad. 2 games Victor Lindelof comes in ahead of him. About that loan then. Keep my wages. Play. Varane gets injured as well. Well. Keeper situation. I tell you what, this Kovar looks like he can play with his feet. He's all right, him. I tell you what, he's good. Keep him. Make him be second keeper. Sell him. Use that 6 million to get someone else. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Well, what are you rating the window out of 10 then?
Criminal.
Because that's it. That's the timeline, isn't it? That's it.
Murto madness.
Anyway, how many likes did we get in the stream actually before I finish off? Did El Cap said we had that one. Lil Yo says we still. Oh no, we read all those ones. We were at like 1,800 people watching. So on the way out, guys, if you could get us to 500, I know that's quite a lot in a short space of time. If you could hit a like not for the transfer window, I wouldn't ask you to do that. Hit a like for just we're all in it together, and this is what happens at our club. Maybe hit a like for that. I hit a like for staying together. Winter says pain. Harry Maguire equals Phil Jones. We're actually terrible at transfers, says Joe Blackman. And I hate to be negative. I'm not. I don't like to do it. I like to see the positives. I really, really do. But I'm just being honest with how I feel. This is how I feel right now. No fence sitting. No, oh, Fleck, you speak to the players sometimes, or you don't tell us how you really. This is how I feel.
Yeah.
Innit?
Yep. And on that note, guys, be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I'm sure we will be live because there's going to be more transfer news on the horizon. And we'll speak to you again very, very soon. We're out of here. Peace.